Breaking news. Child can't bring himself to knowingly kill someone directly after being raised by monks. Local Slav angered. This is pre-2050 cartoon. You think you had smart women? You think women are stupid? Women aren't stupid, man. Katara's just fucking Katara. Let's go, next part.
Come on out, Avatar! You can't hide in there forever!
Hank, just use the earth to capture his body or some shit. Break a limb, do anything. God damn it. At this point, someone's gonna have to kill him for you.
Toph, metal bend the rudder so it's jammed in a turning position. The ship will spiral and slam into the others.
Got it!
Yay! A few hundred more soldiers die. That's another 200.
Have I ever mentioned how sweet it is that you invented metal bending?
You could stand to mention it more.
That's another 100. This guy probably had 2 kids and a wife. Oh, f***. Did you get stabbed? Did you just get... Oh.
Hang on, Toph!
F*** your leg. I thought you got stabbed for a minute.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Why, Space Sword? I don't think Boomerang is coming back, Toph. It looks like this is the end.
How did that happen? Did Boomerang come back?
Well, a big boomerang did come back.
No, Suki did.
Did she just commandeer a ship? That sword just clean cut that off? Hey, space sword. Finally, a Deus Ex Machina.
Come on out, little boy. You're about to be...
Finally! Come on, Dr. Manhattan, finish him off. Alright, we get it. You want this as a thumbnail. Fine, but just do it something with it. Because up until this time, you've just literally just... Oh my god, man. Ay, 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 ay. Please, just kill him. I don't care if you blame the Avatar state. Just kill him. Imagine if Toph teaches this guy metal bending.
Look after little Zuzu if you don't mind. Zuzu, you don't look so good.
She's gonna run out of water eventually. What physician you fired them? I think that's the joke. Okay, there goes that water thing.
There you are, filthy peasant.
Wait, did you freeze each other? Like you're both frozen? Oh, you can do that. Alright, Katara, I'm gonna be that person and just point something out. Firebenders don't get fucked up by heat, and metal has a melting point. Please, break her arms. Break her arms. Please, break her arms. Hey, she was responsible for this shit.
I think I'm the one who should be thanking you.
No, you're the one that should be apologizing. Iro had to breathe on his chains, otherwise he'd need to move his arms individually. Yep, she broke. No, she's been broken for a while. I remember getting shivers at Jula's breakdown, but Kuma is just like, finally. You think this is the first time I've seen someone having psychotic break?
Fire Lord OZAI, you and your forefathers have devastated the balance of this world. And now, you shall pay the ultimate price!
You're gonna force him to eat his own heart while keeping it artificially alive by making the blood flow go without a heart until he finishes consuming it? That's pretty hardcore, Airbender. I like it. Oh, I had a feeling. AANG! AANG! Do you have any idea how many soldiers died just so you could fight this one guy? Probably 1,200. Do you have... Oh, god damn it. Paimei did the same thing, and look how that ended.
No, I'm not gonna end it like this.
Even with all the power in the world, you are still weak.
Those sounds like the words of a man that's given up. Are you gonna Tsukuyomi him?
evil spirit must be unbendable, or you will be corrupted and destroyed.
Oh, of course it's gonna end in a beam struggle.
What did you do to me?
I took away your firebending. You can't use it to hurt or threaten anyone else ever again.
Congratulations, Aang. Tens of thousands of people died so you could remove the firebending from one guy. Let's not forget the entire forest worth of woodland critters that are probably burning alive right now. In horrible agony. But let's not forget all the other critters and the people living in the forest that are suffocating to death from the carbon monoxide due to all the smoke. But congratulations! You taught one fucker a lesson. Oh wait, no you didn't. You just removed his ability to do anything. You should definitely be in Team America. Why did it stop? What the fuck? Even my computer's acting weird now. I mean, unless you're planning to resurrect all those that died in this little conflict.
You did it! You should have seen yourself. It was amazing. You were all like, and the fire alarm was all like.
So did you finish the job?
I'm still alive.
I learned there was another way to defeat him and restore balance. I took his bending away.
Wow, who taught you that?
A giant lion turtle.
You have the craziest adventures when you disappear.
Well, look at you, Buster. Now that your firebending's gone, I guess we should call you the Loser Lord.
I am the Phoenix King.
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to offend you, Phoenix King of getting his butt whooped.
So basically going with the Katara route of not actually killing anybody, but letting them die in their own old age after losing all of their glory and valor. I mean, that's just a waste of resources.
Yeah! Or how about King of the guys who don't win? Leave the nicknames to us, honey.
Toph. Toph. She's the fucking greatest. She's hands down the greatest. She's unbeatable. She's the heavyweight champion of the banter world.
You need some help with that?
Well, this is going to be awkward with Katara around. But then again, emperors always have multiple wives.
May, you're okay. They let you out of prison?
Katara will remember this.
My uncle pulled some strings. And it doesn't hurt when the new Fire Lord is your boyfriend.
Oh, this is gonna be funny.
So does this mean you don't hate me anymore?
I think it means I actually kind of like you.
You see, you can get away with anything as long as you're a Fire Lord. Fuck being a prince, be a Fire Lord. You get away with more shit. You can get away with throwing your girlfriend in prison. Unless you're like Henry VIII, who I think threw his first wife in prison, then had like 6 more wives, and then kept executing them every single time they had a daughter. And then eventually he let his first wife out of prison, whose daughter ended up killing him. Life lesson, don't throw your wife in prison. I mean, don't let her out of prison if you did throw her in prison. That's probably the better lesson.
But don't ever break up with me again.
No, she meant it. Aww. Aww. Divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. Yeah, how does that work? Katara will remember this. Aww. Okay, this one time I will allow the hugs. Didn't Henry fall off a horse and had brain damage? Well, he was fat enough for it. The horse just couldn't support his weight. We lost the sword.
Dad! Dad!
Seriously, fucking meteor sword, gone. Can Toph even track that? I mean, she could tell the location of everything. Could she find it?
I heard what you two did. I am the proudest father in the world.
Your son literally took down like a dozen airships. I mean, if I had a son that took down a dozen airships, I'd be fucking proud. The sword will be found one day, probably. It is a relic of war now. So it's a war crime to use it? Fuck off, I'm using that shit. Me knowing Katara and Zuko don't like each other romantically. I mean, how do you know?
And your mother would be proud too.
There's my favorite warriors. I have to admit, I kind of missed the face paint. So how's it feel to be back in uniform again?
It feels great.
Oh my god!
Careful, Suki. Ty Lee's pretending to be a Kyoshi warrior again.
It's okay. She's one of us now.
Yeah, the girls and I really bonded in prison. And after a few chief walking lessons, they said I could join their group. We're gonna be best friends forever.
I mean, they wanted cheap locking so you couldn't do it to them again. And his wife at the time, I think Anne Boleyn, had a miscarriage because she was worried about him. Then he blamed her for it. Henry VIII, an entire asshole. Yeah.
I can't believe a year ago my purpose in life was hunting you down. And now...
And now we're friends.
Yeah. We are friends.
Now remember, Zuko, no liberating the world from themselves. That should be like rule number 1.
I can't believe a year ago I was still frozen in a block of ice.
Wait, that was only a year ago? Holy fuck.
The world's so different now.
So basically you're like 13. Mentally speaking.
And it's gonna be even more different. We'll rebuild it together.
I will allow it. But don't think this is going to become a regular exception or anything. You only get like one hug at the end of a whole 64 episode series. Oh my god, look at them. In formation. This is what I'm talking about. 4, 4, 4, 4 in total. This, aesthetically pleasing. This, more of this. Not that fucking tank that was out of position. Gulag.
The real hero is the Avatar. Today, this war is finally over.
Wait, are they playing the victory music from Mr. Bean the movie? Holy shit, they are.
I promised my uncle that I would restore the honor of the Fire Nation. And I will. The road ahead of us is challenging. 100 years of fighting has left the world scarred and divided. But with the Avatar's help, we can get it back on the right path and begin a new era of love and peace.
Tone down the love.
All hail Fire Lord Zuko!
I should count myself lucky. The new Fire Lord has graced me with his presence in my lowly prison cell.
You should count yourself lucky that the Avatar spared your life.
You know, there are some fates worse than death.
Banishing me was the best thing you could have done for my life. It put me on the right path. Perhaps your time in here can do the same for you.
Why are you really here?
Because you're going to tell me something. Where is my mother?
I think you're gonna have to torture it out of him. Aww. So this is where I got that photo from. I was always wondering.
Zuko, stop moving! I'm trying to capture the moment. I wanted to do a painting, so we always remember the good times together.
That's very thoughtful of you, Sokka.
Aren't you painting shit though?
Wait, why did you give me Momo's ears?
Those are your hair loopies. At least you don't look like a porcupine. My hair's not that spiky.
Oh, come on, Vegeta.
I look like a man.
Well.
And why did you paint me firebending?
I thought it looked more exciting that way.
Wait, a girl that does firebending? Oh my god! I'm sorry. He has a thing for Azula.
Oh, you think you can do a better job, Momo?
Hey, my belly's not that big anymore. I really trimmed down.
Well, I think you all look perfect.
So do we not find out what happened to Azula? Is she in prison or a psychiatric ward? Or did someone have to marry her as a prison punishment? Do the thing. What? They're not gonna play the song one last time? Oh! I'm sorry, but I half expected him to play the song one last time. One last time. Alright, if I see any more kissing, I'm declaring a ninja war or something. No more. That's it. Everyone got to hug. Everyone got to kiss. Zuko got a kiss. Aang got a kiss. Zuko and Aang hugged. And everyone else hugged. Then everyone else kissed. That's it. No more. We're done. I see another hug. I see another kiss. We're doing World War Part 3. That's it. Done. Enough. There's been enough kissing today. This whole stream has been nothing but kissing. Jesus Christ. What is this? My God, I feel just dirty thinking about it. I need a shower. Do you really want to know what happened to the psychopath? It is shown in comics if you want to know. You know, now that I think about it, she's less of a psychopath and more of a poorly functioning sociopath. Sorry, I gave her a compliment. She's lower on the food chain. I kind of felt that they wanted to give them that happily ever after ending. But at the same time, I kind of feel that they wanted to give a nice message, but it's also dangerous. It's like, they will live happily ever after and no one will die. Well, I think the message does come with the best of intentions. I don't know. It's an amazing anime. Don't get me wrong. I'm just thinking about the ending and just... it's a tough one. It's a really tough one. A lot shifted really quickly. You have to admit, those last 3-4 episodes, a lot moved very quickly. And I'm not talking about the airships and people fighting in the war. I mean, a lot of pieces moved quite a bit very quickly. You had Azula no longer being at her father's right hand, right side, following orders. She was basically left to her own devices, and without being issued an order, she went absolutely nuts. Like, that was a big one. Because that pretty much set up for Zuko and Katara being able to liberate the Fire Nation. Because if she had her wits about her, they probably would have struggled, if not lost. So that's a big one. Then you had the Fire Lord and the airships and Aang's... Well, Aang was being Aang. If he didn't go into that Avatar state, he would have been fucked. So, it kind of got lucky that he went into the Avatar state. And for a second, I thought his Avatar state was lost because of the lightning strike from Katara. Because he didn't... Did I misunderstand something? I thought his Avatar state link got lost. How did it get reconnected? Or did I misunderstand something from the previous episodes? I must be misunderstanding something. He reconnected it when he got hit in his previous wound. It got unblocked, I think. Okay, because I completely removed Avatar state from the equation. If she was at full power, they would have beaten her to that. If she was at full power, they would have beaten her 2 vs 1. I'm not sure. Because she wouldn't have fought them 2 vs 1. She would have used her guards. Like, the thing with Azula is that her abilities aren't her greatest weapon. Her greatest weapon was always her mind. That was her greatest weapon. It wasn't that she could firebend. It was that she was intelligent. That was her weapon. Her mind was her greatest weapon. And as soon as she lost control of her mind, it ate her alive. I think Azula lost it because May entirely betray her, and then she destroyed her support. Well, remember how a few episodes ago, when she was betrayed by black-haired girl, she was basically like, why? I don't understand. And I pretty much laughed and I said, I know you don't. That was the seed of her destruction. She was betrayed. Like, you need to understand that someone like Azula needs to understand everyone around her. She needs to know what buttons to push so she can play them like a marionette. And she was playing her friends like a marionette. And she thought she had them figured out. And then one of them betrayed her. Then she started second guessing everything. If I did not understand this one person who I thought I understood, then I probably don't understand this one. Oh fuck, she also betrayed me. Then my guards, and then these ones, and then it like fucking a deck of cards. It just came tumbling down. Like the Evangelion song, it all came tumbling down, tumbling down, tumbling down. It just went. That, and especially for someone that relies on their mind, second guessing yourself and paranoia is the scariest. It is terrifying, utterly terrifying. Put sleep deprivation on. Put sleep deprivation on top of that, constant fight or flight mode, and the pumping of adrenaline. She's fucked. And then she hit day 3 with the hallucinations. She was at she would have been at least at day 3. That's when hallucinations kick in. Day 3. From there, you can literally die from that point. Like, she was in a downward spiral. And she was crashing downward hard. Does it mean Azula marked her own end the day her friends betrayed her? It was arrogance. Ultimately, it was arrogance. She thought she understood her friends inside and out, but she didn't. She didn't understand them completely. And she couldn't understand that part of her friends. She didn't understand that empathetic side. She just couldn't. Does not compute. Error 404, emotion not found. I don't get it. Why would you do that? It was arrogance. It was something that she couldn't anticipate because it was something that she didn't really encounter. And it was also a part of herself that she was probably burying, which is why her hallucination of her mother, she was basically saying that she loved her. Which is probably something that she really, 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 really wanted from her parents, but she never got. And the reason why she probably couldn't understand her friends was that her own mind didn't let her understand it because she was so emotionally damaged that the way that her own mind kept her balanced was by sealing all those emotions away. Because the brain will do whatever it needs to do in order to keep you balanced and stable. And for someone like Azula, it could very well be cutting off those emotions due to whatever emotional trauma she has. Whether it's neglect in childhood or all these other things. It could be a variety of any of these things. She just wasn't able to handle it. And she cracked. Aang's last chakra was the 7th chakra, the one based on emotion and is suppressed by fear. He was desperately fighting his greatest fear, trying to survive, ironically unblocking his last chakra. I don't know if you noticed, but in the fight between Zuko and Azula, Zuko was using all 4 forms of bending since he's been training with the team. I did notice that his bending was a lot more fluid. Maybe she was fated to lose from childhood then. Well, it is kind of true. I don't like the belief that fate dictates an outcome. Because it then removes choice. I'd more so recognize that predispositions, advantages, disadvantages, all these things are challenges that can be overcome. As Ira said, destiny is on our side. Maybe in the world of Avatar, but it is a very dangerous belief system. It relies so much on the universe doing the hard work for you. I mean, it was going to come to bite her sooner or later. Well, it happened to Stalin. It happened to Stalin. His own paranoia ended up destroying him in the end. By the end, he locked himself in a room, separated from everyone. And even though he controlled the frickin' Soviet Union, he was in a literal prison of his own design, having plots and executions and all this other stuff. He couldn't trust anyone by the end. It was so bad that when he was literally dying, everyone was scared to approach him because they were so fearful of his anger that he could have them executed for the slightest thing. So no one dared to help him. And even when he lay dead, they were afraid to do anything about it. Like, they would mock him, and then as soon as he would twitch, they'd get on their knees and start kissing his hand, begging for forgiveness. That's how fearful of him they were. It's kind of poetic that a perfectionist caused her own downfall. Well, it is. I mean, her greatest enemy was always going to be herself. She never conquered herself. She conquered others, and credit to you, but she never conquered herself. For sure, someone like Stalin would be paranoid of everything. He knew better than anyone how evil could be. Well, in his own words, once his wife died, the last bit of warmth inside him also died. He said it himself. So, there was a point in which he was human, but after that point, there was no humanity left. Loss is possible? Impossible. Maybe I've thought of this wrong. Maybe others will also stab me in the back. I don't know how to... This is one of those endings that I'm going to have to think about for some time. It's going to be one of those things. I'm probably going to see it in a different way in a couple of weeks after, like digesting it. And then while I'm editing season 1, 2, and 3 and see little bits and pieces, I will see it from a new angle. I'll probably see things that are multi-layered. I'll notice things, I'll think about it, and I'll probably have a very different view in a few months. So, Soka, why were you drawing Suki firebending? Did Azula leave that much of an impression? Anyways, let's take a quick break and maybe sneak in an episode of Naruto. Hachan is watching stuff because we're still here, but if I don't get at least one episode of Naruto to flush out all this hugging and kissing, I don't want those types of dreams. I prefer having dreams where things are hunting me and trying to kill me, not trying to hug me. One of the weirdest experiences that I had was in high school, where I used to chat to this girl that was like 1 year below me. And at graduation, they basically had people from the school like give you your certificate of graduation. And because everyone in the school had like siblings and shit, it was really easy for them to just like pick one of the students' siblings from another year, right? And handed them to him. But they actually gave this job to that girl's sister who was like in the 8th grade. So there I was getting my high school certificate and I'm like 18. And I'm basically like, I was pretty much dubbed the Antichrist of the school, right? So like no one would fuck with me, like no one. And then this girl in the 8th grade, she would have been like, what? She would have been like 12 or 13. Literally like walks up and she's like, here's your high school certificate. I'm like, oh, thank you. And then she hugs me in front of the whole school. And I'm just like, and then I'm just like, put my hands on her back. Not like a hug, but like a little like tap, like get this thing off me. And everyone's like, oh. And I'm just like, do you want to die? And I was literally like, I am now imagining using a flamethrower to burn the entire school assembly alive. It's like, I am being civil here, but my patience has its limits. Get this thing off me! You should have just given her a head pat. I gave her like a shoulder pat. It was like almost like a pry her away from me with the thumbs. If I correctly recall, the authors of Avatar haven't written down the ending until the latter half of season 3. Enough with the hugging. In rare circumstances, I will allow it, but seriously, in the last 10 minutes of this anime, they really like used up all of their hugging privileges. They dried up completely.
Hey, did I hand you a shrinking potion by accident? I could have sworn that was the gender swapping one.
Don't be hating. She's fun size, that's all. She doesn't even have to get on her knees to blow.
You want to add anything to that conversation?
Nope, I'm good. In fact, I think your new size makes you an even more formidable and stealthy ninja.